in the media and over the last number of years, it's been sort of widely publicised that there's been more pest-related incidents. There's been pictures going on to social media, that sort of thing. It's been in the newspapers, and people are generally more aware of it. But prior to COVID, this wasn't really the case. Wasn't really in the media. So what has happened that this is now a lot more prevalent. Um, so we have found that the impact of COVID was really a big catalyst for the increase in pest-related cases. Um, uh, I mean, the pests were always there, but they were managed and they were kept they were controlled at a sort of manageable level, whether through Belfast City Council Pest Control Department and the excellent work that they do in maintaining the sewer system and baiting the sewer system, or whether it was through the human interaction from businesses that have their own pest control contracts. So it was always managed. But when COVID came along, that lack of human interaction and the sustained management, pest control management, um, produced an environment that the pests were able to thrive in, and they just got established in businesses and in areas that they were used to. Um, so as after the lockdown, then whenever the human interaction element came back, and slowly started to come back, and businesses came back, people were more aware of the pest issue. But by this stage, it was literally firefighting mode. It was above and beyond what was usually able to be managed. So it was a lot more prevalent. Now, as a result of COVID or after COVID, other businesses also had to face other hurdles, such as Brexit, the issue, or the war in Ukraine, and the issues that came about as a result of those. So with Brexit, it was the increased administration costs for a lot of businesses, and with the war in Ukraine, it was the supply chain impacts. With both of these factors, um, a lot of the impacts that were pushed on the business ended up being financial. So businesses then had to incur more financial costs to deal with Brexit and to deal with the issues in Ukraine. And usually we have found that whenever businesses have to have big financial impacts, one of the first resources to get cut is their pest control, and this is the pest control that has been outsourced to pest control contractors. So businesses that may have paid contractors to carry out monthly or quarterly inspections, these were no longer this was no longer happening. They'd stopped that in favor of carrying out their own monitoring of pests. But the problem with the businesses that did this, that did this and tried to do their own monitoring, in many cases we were finding that they literally weren't qualified. They weren't qualified. They didn't have the experience, and they didn't know how to effectively monitor for pests. Um, so also with the increased in effect of the running costs with businesses, um, uh, they were hit with the food costs, the utility costs, which was widely publicised. So and also the shortage of labour, which then had a knock-on effect when they were trying to carry out their self-monitoring of their premises. Um, a lot of the staff were basically being paid up to a certain hour, and then they were finishing. Businesses wanted to get as much money through the tills as possible, so the sort of the lack of training in terms of cleaning, in terms of pest monitoring, was literally put in the back burner. Also, we do have, although a very small minority, but they are there of just laziness in terms of business owners or premises that literally want money in the till, but they don't care about um, uh, the general upkeep, the hygiene, the food safety aspect of the businesses. But as I say, that's a minority. The majority of businesses are very good. Um, but yeah, they were some of the factors that we were seeing in businesses. Businesses wanting to do everything themselves to cut costs because of the financial impacts that they were seeing. As a result of this, it was then leading on to increased pest-related cases. Um, so over the last 4.5 years within Belfast, we have had 60 closures. So prior to COVID, we probably would have had maybe one per year. And then as businesses started coming back, even now, businesses are still hybrid working and that sort of thing. But as we come out of COVID, the cases of pest related incidents were starting to creep up. And as the inspection rates increased and we were able to get out and carry out more inspections, more frequent inspections, the incidences have increased up to the 60 that you see, and that's up to the 30th of the end of September there. So in terms of formal action, we have had 8 prosecutions that have been instigated, 4 formal cautions, 12 warning letters, and just to put that in perspective, some of the closures that we have had in Belfast have been multiple closures on the same premises. So where premises have closed and they've potentially carried out remedial action and tried to sort things out. They've reopened, and then for whatever reason, there's been further incidences of pests. They've been closed down again. So some of the numbers reflect that it's actually one business, but it might have multiple closures on it. In terms of trying to get legal action, formal action instigated, sometimes we're prevented in doing that. There's quite a lot of cases after we have closed a business where the owners or the operators shut the doors and disappear. And we have no way of tracking them down. And as such, then we can't issue any formal legal action against them. Also, we are guided by council policies, so our council enforcement policy, other internal policies, and we're steered by our legal department, and they'll give us direction as to whether or not legal action should be instigated or not. So just some of the photos that I'm going to show you now are in relation to pest cases that we have carried out over the last number of years. And yeah, they are cases that have been involved in legal action as well. But one other thing that I need to mention as well is that we're quite unique in Belfast in that we have our own dedicated pest control department, and this department, small department, and as with a lot of the smaller departments, they are under resourced and they are overworked. And this department carries out a lot of wide ranging issues, not just in relation to mice or rats. To do with insects, birds, cockroaches, that that type of thing. And anybody can get any advice on that, and a lot of the public actually don't know that, but it's a public service as well. But it's an excellent resource for ourselves as EHOs to be able to call on our pest control department, and those guys are able to come out and give us advice or check premises, and they're able to pinpoint any issues that are there. So we're quite unique in Belfast in that regard. So it's a great resource to have. So yeah, some of the pictures then. These are obviously some droppings and some bait that was found in a kitchen. That's on a worktop, on the shelf on a worktop. Just droppings everywhere. In relation to this one, this was on top of a kitchen worktop, and when we see this, it sort of rings alarm bells because if this is a working kitchen, you're worried on a lot of levels. You've got the contamination of food surfaces. You're also thinking about how and why staff or the owners are letting this happen. Why has it not been cleaned? Are they trained? Has there been adequate training to carry out pest monitoring or even cleaning on a regular basis? So something like this is really concerning when we see it. Again, just droppings on low level areas, and again, just a lack of cleanliness. This picture is at the front entrance of a premises. The premises had pests inside, and they couldn't find out where they were coming from. The pests were literally going in from the front entrance through these holes, and it was later established that there was a break in the sewer line or the drainage inside. So pests were going in the holes, in through the cracks in the pipework, and then coming up through the drains in the actual food premises itself. And then the last one, again, this was a premises that had constant issues, couldn't find anything, and they eventually had to put the snap traps in, and this was found in one of the visits, and obviously this was subsequently closed as well. But that's just a short overview of some of the issues that we have found and experienced in Belfast City Council, and how we've been dealing with it over the last number of years. So, thank you very much, and I'll pass on to Mark from PestCon. Thanks.
Yeah, I hope everyone can see the screen there. Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Great. So, hello everybody, and welcome to this morning's session. Some of you will know me already, and for those of you who don't, my name is Mark Cannon. I'm the Managing Director and founder of PestCon Consultancy, Ireland's largest independent pest control consultancy firm.